everyone. Welcome to This Day on this last day of May, May 31st. It's a Saturday, and you know it's a Saturday because I'm here at this desk. Quick explainer. When I first started working here, for those of you who don't know, I was doing the show, I was getting ready to do the Saturday show, and they said, no, you sit at the desk at Saturday show. And I said, why? They said, well, we've just always done it that way. So that's why I'm here, just because you don't always have to have an answer, just that's the way we do it. So I'm always here at the desk for you on a Saturday. But the great part is we've got a great show for you. Let's get right to that. And we want to welcome on our show today the Flourishing Club. We're going to be talking to Diane Lukic and Sunshine Luti. They're going to be talking about how we flourish right here in the village, our mindsets, activities, and things we can do. It's a great conversation. You're going to want to look forward to that one and make sure you stay for that one. And then Aquadettes. Hey, summer pool started. Summer pool hours are already going. We'll talk about that in a second. And we're going to talk to Judith McCourt and Marybeth McFall about the Aquadettes' upcoming performances, so stay tuned for that. Speaking about Aquadettes, speaking about staying informed, we got new pool hours for the Aquadettes and everybody here in the community. We marked the last week of the winter pool season last weekend. Memorial Day is an unofficial start of summer, and we got summer underway in the pools. All 5 pools are now open, including the seasonal reopening of Pool 6. There are extended summer hours in effect for Pool 1 and 4 and 5, and Children's Swim has moved from Pool 6 and is now moved to Pool 6 and is now scheduled daily from noon to 4 p.m. So enjoy that. And Swim Clinic returns to Pool 2, moving from Pool 5. And the Aquadettes, we'll talk about them in a little bit, what pools they're in. I'll figure that out soon. Let's take a quick check of our weather. We got great temperatures for our pool for this weekend. Today's going to be mid-70s, 76, and then 75 on Sunday. Then we get a little cooler as we go into next week, Monday and Tuesday in the 60s, high 60s, and then a little bit warm up. Look at that. Brilliant sunshine on Wednesday, 73 degrees. Let's take a look at our sunrise, sunset. Sunrise this morning was 5:41. Sunset tonight is going to be 7:55. And I want to thank Joel Goldstein for sending us this picture of bristlecone pines up in Bishop, California. Look at those beautiful trees. Wow, it looks like a petrified forest kind of look up there. That's really, really cool. I love this shot. Thank you very much, Joel, for sending that one to us. And if you'd like to do just like Joel did and send us a picture, we'd love to use it right here on our television show. You can email us your pictures, lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. Make sure you include your name, where you took the picture, and we will use it in our sunrise sunset segment. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when I come back, we'll be talking to the folks from the Flourishing Club. Stay with us.
Small gestures of compassion, little leaps of ingenuity, brief moments of bravery. This is Memorial Care, where being the difference makes the difference.
There's a new focus, same name though. It's the Flourishing Club, and I want to welcome Diane Lukic and Sunshine Luti to our program. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us here.
So tell us, folks who don't know, what the Flourishing Club is, maybe what it was a little bit, and what it is today. What do you guys have? How have you reinvented it?
Okay, reinvented. That's exactly what I did, because coming out of COVID is when I started Flourishing. Mm-hmm. I felt a need to connect people together. And so I started this group, and we had so many people that were interested in connecting at a deeper level. Mm-hmm. And so I had the focus on positive psychology and making the most of this phase of life, called whatever we want to call it. I called it the retirement. Some people call it a new beginning. Could be called anything. So it was a focus on making the most of that and making it really good despite the challenges we faced as we age.
Right. And Sunshine, you know, a lot of folks can feel isolated already when they move into those retirement years. The kids are gone. They maybe lose connection with friends if they move to a community like this and they don't know one just yet. But COVID can make it even, COVID was impacting that even tenfold. So when, like she said, when we emerge from that, we wanted to have the desire for connection. Is that what you felt as well?
Absolutely. I loved when she started that club, because what happened is we were talking to each other about things that mattered. And that's hard to do when you're sitting at home in your lazy boy chair.
Yeah, or doing it through a Zoom connection. You're looking at a tiny screen or something like that. If you're on the phone with people, it's that face-to-face that I think a lot of people got cut off from for so long, and that's kind of what was the inspiration, like you said, for the Flourishing Club.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, and so when you guys started this up, what was the original goal for Flourishing? Just to connect? Connecting
with each other at a deep level. And so I didn't know how that looked or how that felt. But then what emerged was I was teaching guided autobiography, and I found people just love sharing stories, and it united. And a lot was happening in our world to call divisiveness. And so this unites people together, because these stories, we see how alike we all are. So I decided to change the focus just recently to flourishing through shared stories. And it's based on the principles of guided autobiography, which is from the field of gerontology.
And that can be a real connector, right? Because instead of sitting down and talking about politics or something that just like, you know, can be a very divisive kind of thing, like how I raised my kids, when I first got married, things like that, like you said, that guided autobiography. Do you feel like you find more connection there than you ever would in a political conversation?
Absolutely, although politics can come into the story as well. I mean, how do you live without it right now?
So when you have those connections, when you get that, do people give you feedback? Like, I really got a sense of connection. I really had that feeling of like I found, you know, a group that I want to be around.
They do. So I had my first meeting just a couple of weeks ago, and several people came to this. It had kind of slowed down. I was away for a few months, and so I resurrected it by putting some flyers out, and everyone came in. We talked about branching points. What was the point in your life where things changed for you? And there were about 20 people there, and they just were delighted with the connection that they felt with each other and how much they had in common. And they were from all different parts of the United States, but we saw how much we really had in common through a turning point in our life. Yeah.
And it's an interesting way you term it in terms of branching points, because I think a lot of times people say, oh, if I'd gone down this road, well, that road closed the minute you went this direction. That road does not exist anymore. And do you feel people, like Sunshine, have you ever felt like people like are stuck in those places sometimes and they don't have that connection?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My probably biggest branching point would have been after I lost my second husband. I lived 43 years with one husband, 17 years with another husband. Now I was all alone, and I really didn't even know who I was anymore.
And that can be a real challenge for people when their identity is wrapped up maybe in something else that isn't within them, a little bit like a job or a spouse or something like that, right? And then they feel like, well, who am I? Here I am, I'm 60, whatever it might be years old, and I really never figured that out.
That's right. That's exactly right. So that's what this phase of life is about, and flourishing is about what is really good, focusing on the present moment. Because as Sunshine and I were talking before we came in here, I said this could be our last conversation, Sunshine, right now.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Well, you never know.
So it's appreciating the current moment, and that happens when we're together in this circle, and we are in a circle, and so it's very important to be in that circle because it feels connection, and just delighted to do that with people and see the.
Is it important in terms of when like you talk about flourishing, is when people walk in, they say, and you kind of say, okay, we're not here to dwell on the past or can be worried about the future. We're trying to be in the moment with each other.
They don't know coming in. They're kind of surprised. They don't know what to expect. Because I'll say, oh, what did you come to flourishing today? They're like, well, I don't know. It just sounds interesting. I'd like to find out more about it. So then what's really nice about it is we kind of just discuss these topics like cultural heritage, and we even go into death, music, and all sorts of things. So it can be very heavy, it can be very light, but it's such a, they go really deep. It's amazing for the very first meeting how deep people go, especially after the first person shares.
Okay.
That everyone, and they keep getting deeper and deeper.
Well, you have a book there, Writing Your Legacy.
Yeah.
It's by a village resident, and you have some what you call priming questions that you kind of
Yes.
kick off some meetings with. So tell us some of them.
Okay,
And I want to hear some of your answers.
And I just picked a couple fun topics here. Cultural heritage. What cultural beliefs, values, and behaviors have you inherited from your ancestors? What is your cultural background? I love that question. There's a lot to that. And I'm going to go to this one because I think Sunshine would really like this. My life goals.
Yes. Well, one of the things I wrote about goals and aspirations. This is a poem that I wrote just after my first husband had been told of his terminal illness. I live each day as though it's my last. Who knows the future? We just know the past. Living each day in the very best way is all I can do while loving you, loving you, loving you. And I go on to say, I will continue to stand firm on fairness, equality, and freedom for all. I will continue to find ways to spread sunshine and joy. After all, with a name like Sunshine, that's my job.
In this Flourishing Club, it's not like you said, you have this goal, and here I'm going to set my goals. Is it important for people to still have goals in their retirement and that kind of thing? Important to have something to look forward to, say, I'm going to do this next. This is the next chapter of my life.
Absolutely. And it doesn't, here's the thing, people think it needs to be a big goal.
Right.
It doesn't have to be big. It can be something little tiny. I set goals every single day. So I set a goal to help others. I'm very service oriented. So help another neighbor with their groceries. I mean, it could be little, smiling at someone, telling the person in the grocery store they did a great job of bagging groceries. These are my goals.
Just spread some sunshine, so to speak, today. There's a goal, right? And just be out there. And I find like a checklist, even if it isn't, maybe I don't call it a goal, but a checklist for my day.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, when I cross that last thing off my checklist for the day, I feel, okay,
that's right.
I got some things done today.
And the only problem with that is putting too many things on your checklist.
Yes, well, I've discovered that as well. I'm halfway through my checklist.
And I think it's important for people to know that it's a choice. Every day you get up in the morning, I can choose to be happy, I can choose or have a bad day today. And I do know some of those people. So in Flourishing, it's a focus on joy and happiness, despite physical and mental decline in some cases.
All right, so the next meeting, we've got that up on the screen for you. So tell us about the meetings, where do we meet, what times, and all that kind of stuff for people who want to come out and flourish with you.
Yeah, Sunshine, take it away.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
It's up on the screen.
Well, I'll jump
Go
in here.
ahead,
June
do that.
3rd, July 1st, August 5th, and it's the first Tuesday of each month. It's over at Clubhouse 1, Dining Room 2. Time's going to be 1:30 to 3 o'clock. Be ready to talk.
That's
be ready
right.
to share.
Yes, be ready to share.
Absolutely.
Those are the goals. Be ready to talk and be ready to share.
Yeah, that's right.
And one more thought about spiritual life and values. Since I believe that love conquers all, my goal is to give and receive love to everyone I meet.
All right, we'll land it on that. Sunshine and
Sending
Diane.
love to Laguna Woods.
Sunshine and Diane from Flourishing Club. Thank you. Keep flourishing. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yes.
You're watching This Day. We'll be right back.
At Harvard Eye Associates
We are committed to your vision care.
and quality of life.
It's a commitment we don't take lightly.
Our trusted team of doctors provides specialized eye care using state-of-the-art technology.
We deliver what matters to you.
And your family.
Harvard Eye Associates, the future of vision today.
For over 20 years, Orange County has taken its unwanted gold, jewelry, timepieces, sterling silver, and coins to the Jewelry Box estate buyers and always received top dollar. We are a full-service repair center, too, where you can rest assured our on-premises master jeweler will repair any jewelry in our state-of-the-art facility. Come see why for over 2 decades, Orange County has relied on the Jewelry Box estate buyers.
At the Jewelry Box Estate Buyers,
it's about trust.
Visit us online at jewelryboxestatebuyers.com.
Our next group, as a group, is older than me, which is kind of cool. They're celebrating 60 years of sparkle, strength, and sisterhood. It is the Aquadettes. I want to welcome to the program Mary Beth McFall and Judith McCourt. Thank you guys for joining us.
Oh,
Thanks
pleasure.
for having us.
Yeah.
Well, and happy 60th anniversary. Judith, we'll start with you. 60 years of tradition. It's as old as the village itself.
It really is, and that's what's really pretty amazing. This is the 60th anniversary of the Aquadettes, and it started as a group of women who were just interested in swimming. It became a club, one of the first ones in the village. And then from there, where we went is to doing shows. And so every year we do an Aquafollies show. So we are made up of a group of women. We're, oh gosh, pretty diverse. We have accountants, we have lawyers, we have nurses, we have artists.
Artists, there we go.
So,
and the
we have
commonality is
lots
they
of
all can
grandmas.
swim.
And we can all swim.
And we'll talk about this blanket in a minute. It's part of the charity event you guys are doing. But how did you get started in Aquadettes, Mary Beth?
Well, my background is I always swam as a child. I loved to swim. I didn't enjoy lap swimming. And so in high school, I became a gymnast. And then I went into dance. I've danced and did gymnastics. I also took diving in college. And then when I saw the Aquadettes here in Laguna Woods, I moved here a couple years ago. I thought, hey, this combines all of the things I love to do. And I love it.
There you go. And Judith, same question to you. When did you first start?
Well, I felt like I was going to need something to do in retirement.
Don't we all?
Yes. Now, in all fairness, I hadn't figured out how to retire yet. But still,
well, there's that.
I decided that it would be something that really fun to do. I could swim. I don't have Mary Beth's extensive background, so these last 2 years, I've been on the team for 2 years. Mary Beth, this is her first year.
Yeah.
I have learned so much of what I don't know. And that's been amazing. One thing I love about it, it's so good for your cognitive memory. You can, because you're learning routines and it's repetition, it's great for your physical health. It means you can eat almost anything.
You're burning calories.
I don't know about that.
And right now we're practicing, we have about 9 hours a week that we are practicing, getting ready for our show.
I was going to say, we're getting ready for the big show, right? Is it 4 days of performances?
3.
3 days of performances, 800 or so people expected?
You bet.
And they come from all around the world, right?
Well, hopefully we
People have.
But we have, and it's going to be a really, really fun show this year. It's Hooray for Hollywood, and it's a night of Oscar music, and what we're featuring is Oscar-winning or Oscar-nominated songs. So it'll be all the kinds of things that you know. And Mary Beth and I are partners. Mary Beth, what are we partners in?
Que Sera Sera.
Doris Day.
Doris Day, yes.
And Moon River. So that's going to be
And then we have
really,
a Hooray for Hollywood performance where some of the swimmers are in the water and others are on the deck holding up the Hollywood letters.
And then the swimming, the coordinated aerobics kind of swimming was also famous in the 50s. There were a lot of those movies, 50s and 60s, where they did that. Do you do a little homage to them at all? Do you ever kind of borrow some of the sequences from them?
Well, that would be a good question for our coach, and a good idea if we don't. But we do a lot of what we would consider classical, but what we've also introduced into it is this artistic swimming element, which is what is now called with the Olympics, which is much more gymnastic, which is why Mary Beth's skills are so helpful. You know, where we're spending more time doing things, more stunts, so that people can see.
Be careful. Stunts.
Well, it's really fun. It's really fun. You know, handstands.
A lot of sculling. The egg beater was one that's hard for me. It's also what they use for water polo, and it's treading water where your legs are doing this kind of thing. Like,
wow.
So it's great
so that you can do things with your
arms
as you're keeping your chin above the water.
What's it like? I know you guys don't practice all the time, like the intensity gets a little higher. What's it like when the intensity really gets higher? Are you like worn out at the end of the day? Or are you just like, okay, I need to
Well, it's
sleep?
kind of a lot. Like yesterday was our first day to do deck work. And so we do deck work, which means we practice in a room just on land with the movements and where everybody's going to be in their positions and moving to the music. And then we get in the water. So yesterday we had deck work starting. I started at 4:30 because I was coaching some of the dance. And then finished that at 6:30. Got in the water and swam then from 7 to 8. We had to be out of the locker room by 8:30.
So the short answer for me is yes, I was exhausted.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking
so
like
tired.
I've got to eat something before I go to bed. But yes, it was from
Long day.
so busy, but so fun. You know, it's such camaraderie between the women. And what I really wanted to talk a little bit about too is that people think of us as people who can kick our legs, but we really did quite a job in the senior games here. In total, we won 27 or 28 medals.
Whoa.
The Aquadettes did.
Okay.
But we also do a lot of community service work too, which is great. You know, we do work with a variety of things. Most recently, we did a walk for the Rotary Club. To help them with mental health awareness. We helped do some of the beautification of Clubhouse, no, it was Clubhouse, it was Garden Center 2 with planting trees. And then we also participate with other clubs. So for example...
Well, let's bring us to this quilt.
Yes,
Let's talk about this quilt.
Yes.
The Crazy Quilters, which this is not such a crazy quilt, it's gorgeous, is one of the things that they have donated, which we will go ahead and auction off at, or actually raffle off at our performances in August.
Okay,
So,
and we grabbed some video of this. People are going to take a look at this. We're looking at beautiful turtles on here. Some fish embroidered into the kind of framed art of this. It's really a beautiful put together here.
It's really lovely, and the Clown Club helps us, and the clowns will be at our show too, and then the Video Club helps us. So it's a real coordination of club effort, which I think really makes a big difference. So we're not just
speaking
a solo
of
club.
fundraising,
How can people get? How can people get an opportunity
this will
to win
be
this?
available at the show.
Okay.
But in addition to the things that you can bid on at the show, there'll be gift baskets. We also have sponsors, people who can put ads in our program.
Okay.
You can just donate money to the Aquadettes. It costs quite a bit to put on the show. We have to rent risers and put seating.
And we actually haven't mentioned the show is actually August 14th, 15th, and 16th, and it's free to the community.
No, it's a $20 charge.
Oh.
So it's $20. It's $20 for that. But you're talking about free performances. We do give back in that way too. Last year we did 2 free performances. One, we did a mini performance at Pool 4.
Okay.
And then we also did something outwardly for the Meridian Senior Living Center. So yes, a portion of every ticket sales goes back to the community.
Okay.
So
Then we also did the Wine and Sip. We did 2 events, and next year we'll do more of those, which were very popular, as a way to help raise some money. It's a water kind of themed painting. People come and enjoy an evening painting and sipping a little wine, and then we did a little fundraising for the Aquadettes as well.
Well, sipping a little wine, a lot of wine.
Yeah, it just depends on who's doing the sipping, I suppose. Yeah. So, Mary Beth, what is your favorite part about being in an Aquadette? Is it the community? Is it the performance? Is it a lot of things?
I think, well, I enjoy the camaraderie. It's the dance element. You can't put music on and I can't not move. I participate in Zumba here in Laguna Woods, and so yesterday, as well as deck work, I took a Zumba class and then I went over it. So I enjoy the music, the movement to the music. The cognitive is great because you have to remember the combinations, find your person in the water, synchronize, which is a challenge because we're all doing in one part a handstand. We all have to go over at the same time, and we have to repeat that and count and get that. So it's the challenge, I think, that I enjoy.
And for Judith, is there a sense of community that you get from being in the Aquadettes?
Totally, because I moved to Laguna Woods in the pandemic of all times, so there was like, what do you do? I didn't join then, but then afterwards I was really hungry for companionship, and it's been a really great way to meet an incredible group of talented women, so I love it. I really do.
So what are some of the things you guys have really feel you've stepped up because this is the 60th in terms of this year's performance? How is it going to be just a little more special than maybe other years?
Well, our program is phenomenal. Our program is phenomenal because it includes dance and it includes water.
And our costumes are amazing.
Our costumes, which we hope to show you in August,
Yeah.
which we will show you. And we have a gorgeous poster, thank you, Maribeth.
Oh, yes.
And a gorgeous 60th anniversary program. So we really are going to step it up, and it's going to be an amazing show. At the end of the show, we are going to do a salute to the armed forces. That's what we will be doing. So one of the things that we're looking for is, and we'll put it on your community board, is some veterans, 3 for each day, who would like to represent the armed forces at the show. So
well, as a matter of fact, my husband is retired Coast Guard.
There you go.
Yeah.
So,
there you go.
So
All
we
right.
can show that.
Well, it sounds fantastic. It's going to be August 14th, 15th, and 16th. It's the 60th anniversary celebration of the Aquadettes. Hooray for Hollywood, a night of Oscar music. Thank you so much, Judith and Maribeth, for joining us today.
Thank
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're watching This Day. We'll be right back.
O'Connor Mortuary has been healing hearts, inspiring trust, and comforting souls since 1898. As one of the oldest family-owned and operated mortuaries in California, we are proud to be a long-standing pillar in the community. Our unwavering commitment to providing support in a time of need is what sets us apart and allows us to build strong bonds with each family we serve. Thank you for choosing us for 125 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats.
Something is happening tonight at the Barclay. The Barclay in Irvine. Live entertainment, you don't want to miss it. Tonight at the Barclay.
And welcome back. Let's talk Saturday movie, and we've got a great one. If you're not going to be in the pool, let's get inside and watch this movie. It is called The Lost Weekend. It stars Ray Milland. It's brought to us by RadNet. It's going to be at 2 p.m. with the subtitles, 6 p.m. without the subtitles. It's an Academy Award winner. It's a great movie, and it's focused on the real world of alcoholism. It's one of the first movies to ever do that made in the United States. It's the desperate life of a chronic alcoholic, and he's followed through a 4-day drinking bout. It is a classic one. It's a great one. If you haven't seen it, make sure you've seen it. If you've already seen it, watch it again. It's a good one. Let's take a quick check of our weather forecast before we head out. And we've got some nice temperatures for this weekend. We're going to have mid-70s for today and tomorrow. We're going to have, clouds in the morning, maybe clearing up in the afternoon. That's our kind of a usual pattern here for late May and early June when we get into the June gloom time of year. And then we're going to be a little bit cooler as the marine layer has a little bit more influence on us on Monday and Tuesday. And then nice 73 degrees and lots of sunshine on Wednesday. So looking forward to that. Monday on the program, we're going to be talking about the ALS Bucket Challenge, a new one right here in the community that you can be a part of, as well as African American Heritage Club's going to be here talking about the latest event they have coming up. That's going to do it for this edition of This Day. I'm Michael Taylor. For all of us here at Village Television, we hope you make this day a great one.